A world exists beneath our feet, silently passing by, often unnoticed by our eyes. Despite their tiny bodies, ants are symbols of incredible intelligence, unparalleled organization, and solidarity. They are not just insects. They are architects, soldiers, farmers, and administrators.
Perhaps many of us see them only as small, insignificant insects that invade our picnics, chasing after food crumbs. Yet the reality is entirely different. Ants have spread to every corner of the planet except Antarctica, comprising tens of thousands of species, and their total biomass is estimated to be close to that of humanity's total biomass, making them incredibly dominant creatures. When you consider that each ant colony can consist of millions of individuals, it's hard to even imagine the sheer scale of their existence. According to one study, there are roughly 1 million ants for every human on Earth.
So how do these minuscule beings become one of those successful creatures on the planet? They sustain the planet's balance not only through their numerical superiority, but also through their critical roles in the ecosystem. They are the invisible farmers that aerate the soil, the tiny distributors that help forests spread by carrying plant seeds, the natural predators that keep harmful insect populations under control, and the tireless recyclers that enrich the soil by breaking down organic matter. Without their silent, incessant work, ecosystems could plunge into chaos. When we look at the general appearance of an ant colony, we might initially see only a tangle of activity, but as we get closer, the astonishing order behind this movement emerges. Understanding this perfect organization, where each ant has a specific task, working like the cells of a giant organism, can offer new perspectives on our own complex societies. Their daily hustle is not just a struggle for survival. It is also a continuous process of rebuilding and adapting that shapes the planet itself. In this documentary, we will embark on an in-depth journey into the unseen universe of ants. You will witness how these small creatures, whom we usually glance over in our daily lives, play such a significant role in the order of the planet. And you will look at their lives with admiration. Step by step, we will witness the founding, functioning, communication, architecture, and collective intelligence of an empire. If you're ready, adjust your magnifying glass, because we are now entering the fascinating world of ants. If you're ready, let's begin this journey, which should be watched not with a magnifying glass, but with awe. The fascinating world of ants is about to begin. We take a step. Without knowing it, beneath us lies a city no one sees. There's no light there, nor a sound as we know it. But there is life. There is discipline. There is movement. In this chapter, we'll delve into the astonishing hierarchical structure of an ant colony. We'll explain the roles and interactions of different castes, like the queen, worker ants, soldier ants, and male ants. We'll use striking examples to show how each individual's specific role within the colony ensures the entire system operates efficiently. In this section, we'll observe their inner workings at a micro level, almost as if we've entered an ant colony ourselves, just a few centimeters beneath the ground. To us, it's an ordinary pile of dirt, but for ants, it's a full-fledged civilization. Tunnels, chambers, and pathways, seemingly unnoticed at first glance but built with perfect planning. These aren't coincidences. They are architectural masterpieces shaped by years of evolution. A colony can consist of a few thousand, sometimes millions of individuals. And these individuals know their own areas of responsibility, their paths, even the purpose of their lives. No one gives orders, yet everyone knows what they need to do. How are the foundations of a colony laid? It all begins with a single queen. After her nuptial flight, a young queen, newly emerged from her egg, searches for a suitable spot. It could be under a tree root, beside a stone, or in soft earth. Here, she begins to dig her first tunnel. She is weak, tired, and alone, but she continues to dig with perseverance. The first eggs the first workers. And then, a chain begins. As soon as the first generation of workers grows, they take over the duties. The queen's only task is now to lay eggs. Everything else belongs to the workers. Tunnels are expanded, chambers are built, and food is sought. This is how a colony is born. Just like any empire, ant colonies have their boundaries. Food foraging areas, patrol routes on the surface, and precautions taken in dangerous situations. Conflicts with neighboring colonies sometimes occur between just a few workers, but at other times they escalate into massive battles involving thousands of ants. This is a form of art of war. They navigate by scent trails and they issue attack commands with pheromones. Losing a path, a battle, or even the queen can endanger the entire colony. The nest's structure resembles a city. Egg chambers, larva care areas, special compartments for the queen, food storage areas, defense corridors. Each is built according to a specific order. Some species even have ventilation systems. Airflow is provided through natural methods that minimize the harmful effects of mold, dampness, and microorganisms. Such a complex and efficient system forms without human intervention, purely instinctively. In a place we cannot see, a civilization is born. Every individual's role is clear, the order unwavering. And we just look at the ground and pass by. Yet, a world is hidden beneath, the invisible empire beneath our feet. How can millions of individuals in a society organize perfectly without speaking, without a leader, and without written rules? The answer lies hidden in ants. In an ant colony, there is no chaos. Every individual knows their role from the moment they are born. Worker, soldier, nurse, or foraging scout. At the core of this organization lie genetic codes and thousands of years of evolutionary success. Ants' instinctive yet flawless planning offers a structure that even large corporations could learn from. In this chapter, we take a closer look at the nervous system of this organization. In ant colonies, every individual has a role from the moment they are born. No one assigns tasks. No one says, "You go here, you go there." Workers build the colony's infrastructure, care for larvae, and forage for food. Soldiers protect the colony and form the defense line against threats. Nurses tend to eggs and larvae, cleaning, transporting, and feeding them. Scouts discover new food sources. Queen, solely responsible for laying eggs, yet ensures the continuity of the entire colony. These tasks are determined by genetic makeup, life stage, and environmental signals that change according to the colony's needs. This means an ant dedicates itself to the task it was born for. It doesn't falter. It doesn't question. It doesn't give up. Interestingly, some ants change roles over time. Young workers initially care for larvae, while as they age, they move to outdoor tasks like foraging or defense. This system ensures the colony uses its resources in the most efficient way possible. Ant colonies seem to possess an internal balancing system. If the number of soldiers in a colony is low, some workers change their roles based on hormonal signals and become soldiers. In this system, balance is always maintained. A kind of biological management system, just like an operating system, executes tasks regularly and flawlessly. As fascinating as ants' tasks is how they organize themselves. There is no verbal communication, but complex commands are transmitted through pheromones. Follow me, danger ahead, food found, move to defense line. These pheromones create an invisible chain of command. The colony is like a decentralized brain, managed by collective intelligence. This entire structure shows us one thing: an ant colony is a decentralized superorganism. Every ant works like a cell, but together they transform into a body. Ants, beyond being individuals, are living parts of an organism. This system is so impressive that scientists are modeling ant colonies to develop robot armies, artificial intelligence systems, and logistical solutions. The greatness of ants comes not from their bodies, but from the perfect order they create when working together. There are no commands, yet everyone knows what to do. This is nature's most organized system, an ant colony.
Every empire has a leader. But this leader doesn't sit on a throne giving orders. Its duty is to give life. It doesn't just rule a colony. It gives birth to it, nurtures it, keeps it alive. Meet the queen ant. The queen ant, the heart, soul, and future of a colony. A mother figure who lays eggs, governs, and gives life to the colony. Her life is very different from others, but without her, a colony can never survive. In this chapter, we'll explore the process from the queen's birth to her ascension to the throne and her guidance of the entire colony. The birth of a queen. It all begins with a special larva, chosen from among hundreds of thousands of eggs. This larva is fed differently from the others, a diet rich in protein and fat, special care, and an investment in the future of the colony. Thanks to this intensive care, it's not an ordinary worker that develops, but the future queen. When the time is right, young queens and male ants emerge from the colony. This event is one of nature's most impressive displays. The day comes, the air humidifies, the temperature reaches the right point. Hundreds of young queens and male ants take flight. These ants, soaring as if dancing in the sky, are there for one purpose: to mate. Every young queen mates only during this flight, for her entire life. She stores the sperm from the males she mates with in her body. Yes, enough for a lifetime. The males die after the flight. The queens, on the other hand, land, shed their wings, and set off alone to establish a new colony. The young queen who has landed walks until she finds a suitable place, under a stone, a crack in the soil, or a tree root. She begins to dig, alone, vulnerable, hungry. She opens the first nest through her own efforts. She lays her first eggs and nourishes them with her body's energy reserves. Until the first generation of workers grows, the colony depends entirely on her patience and resilience. When the first workers are born, the roles change. The queen now only lays eggs and the colony begins to grow. A mature queen can lay thousands of eggs a day. Yes, thousands. She can live for years, even up to 20 years in some species. During this time, she does one thing: constantly produce. As the colony grows, all life is shaped by her rhythm. As long as she exists, the colony exists. If she dies, the colony may disperse or slowly begin to fade away. She is an unseen leader. Her throne is underground, her voice in pheromones. She starts a civilization alone, sustains millions. She is the mother and heart of an empire, the queen ant.
In the next episode, we'll uncover the true genius of ants, their sacrifice, their silent communication, and the collective brain that rivals even our own. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for part 2, because the empire is just getting started.